Week number 6 in the BCFC, and a great matchup every time the Vancouver Island Raiders head up to Kelowna and take on the Okanagan Sun. And that's what we'll get this weekend. Doug Hawking, head coach of the Raiders, Ben McCauley of the Sun joining me now. And Ben, I have to start with you. A tough loss in your home opener, a game I know that based on what I was reading in some of the papers in Kelowna, you were very unhappy to lose against the Rams. And the bottom line is your emotions were up, and you were certainly heated after that game. What is it that brought that emotion out of you, and how have you reflected on that as the week has played out?
Well, it's certainly wasn't meant as a disrespect toward Langley. I think their staff did an excellent job of preparing for us, and they brought out great emotion and energy and played a good game of football. And now, anything I say to my team typically after a game is charged with emotion from frustrations both of our performance, of officials, of certain calls that we're not happy with. And I think any other coach who's talking privately to his team would expect that to kind of be, something that we can keep between ourselves. But that wasn't the case, and it got out to the public. So it is what it is, and I wasn't meant as a disrespect, but at the same time, emotions run high after a game, and you're pouring in a lot of time and effort, and you expect more out of everybody involved when you get that close and you don't walk away with a win.
Doug, for you, ultimately a victory over the Rebels at home, but one thing we've talked about, I think, every week is 60 minutes, and especially your offense sustaining scoring drives over more than just sort of spurts, 4 or 5. And I think you would probably agree with me that it wasn't 60 minutes against the Rebels.
Yeah, well, it was a good 60 minutes. I'll take it. And the last 6 or 7 minutes of that game, we had our 2s and our 3s in. They needed to get those experience, those reps, those game reps. So I'm not. All that tells us that we need to do a better job as a coaching staff to prepare our number 2s to get into the game and know that they're ready to play. And they need to do a better job knowing that if somebody goes down, they're prepared when they do go in the game. As far as offensively, I think we did. We came out in the third quarter. We did something we haven't done all year. We took the kickoff going into the third quarter. We went down and we scored points. We haven't done that all year, so that's a positive thing. But there's still those dips and those. We're working our way through those. But all in all, I'm pretty happy with our performance.
Doug, Rhett Williams is having a great season, a career year for him, for the veteran running back. And Jake LeBerge, as a third-year guy, is obviously, I think, one of the top pivots in this league, with all due respect to the others. Do you characterize the Raiders as a passing team or a running team, or does it just depend on what it needs to be?
Well, I think we're balanced. I think, you look at Jake and the receivers we have, and, Mike West had an outstanding day. And, so we're able to move the ball through the air and set up the run, and we're also able to run the ball to set up the pass. I think we're a very well balanced offense, and it's according to how the game. So sometimes you go into a game, and you think one's going to set up the other, and it works the other way. So, but I'm not going to call us a running team, and I'm not going to call us a pass first team. What I do like to see is that's my offensive coordinator calling me from the field right now. Where are you, dude? What I do want to see is I want to see us to be able to, when the weather gets crummy, we want to be able to run the ball, and we want to be able to run the ball between the tackles. So it's something we work on. It's something we take pride on, is being able to run the football, and that's been since day one, since I took over.
Ben, sort of dovetailing off that question, when you look at the Raiders, when you watch the film, do you approach them as a team where, man, we got to stop the run, or a team where you say, we can't let them beat us through the air?
Well, I think it's more about, for us, what we do. We know they've got playmakers in different areas of the field, and we do certain things well, and we have to play to those strengths as well. So we do a good job of putting pressure on the quarterback. That's going to be no different this weekend. We know that we've had Jake come up here in the past and make us pay by getting out of the pocket. So that's not something we've ever forgotten. And we also know that they get a lot out of their players. So guys who aren't necessarily on the players of the week every week, they have guys step up and make plays, and that's a tribute to the coaching and their ability to get guys to make plays. So we have to be ready for everything, and we're putting in a lot of extra time to make sure that we're prepared to play a very good football team.
Doug, what's the key to a road trip, a successful road trip to the Apple Bowl from a coaching perspective?
The successful road trip to the Apple Bowl. Hey, win. There's a successful road trip to the Apple Bowl. It's we talked as a staff tonight. We love it. It's Saturday night. It's the Apple Bowl. I'm not a fan of the Sunday afternoon games and going up there a day early and the walkthrough and hope. I want to go up there. I want to play Saturday nights. It's a business trip. Let's get in and out of there, get our work done, and get home and get back to the Rock. So a success for us is having a great week of practice, having a great Tuesday night, and then we'll worry about tomorrow night. And again, we talk about it every week, Dom. Then we worry about Thursday night. And success in the Apple Bowl will depend on having success this week in practice.
Ben, this is a bit of a different spot for the Okanagan Sun franchise. I mean, I don't know the last time they would have had maybe a record like this at midseason. What's that like to manage as a head coach? I know you guys have a strong alumni, a strong board of directors, and a community that has expectations, and the franchise itself. What's it like to manage what's going on so far this season up there?
Well, it's not easy. I'll say that, but it's you can take the pressure two ways. You can take it as a negative or a positive, and the positive is that we got a great community and a board of directors and everyone has the same goal, and that's to be a winner. We have to keep in mind that we do a lot of great things off the football field too, and we're working our best to develop young men. But at the end of the day, the job is to win on Saturdays. So there's certainly pressure coming that way, but we also look at it as we're a few plays away from being at a completely different record right now. We make a couple field goals here and there. We finish a couple drives, but if we're 5-0 and just squeaking those by, it doesn't mean we're a better football team. That just means we were able to finish a lot more. So, those are big problems and, things that we need to be able to overcome moving forward. And I'd rather have those present themselves now with the record than have them come later in the season. And, we need to be, and we say this all the time, is peaking at the right time and getting guys healthy again and making sure that we're ready to play football come October.
Real quick, guys, I'll throw one out to you guys. Doug, if you look at the Sun, their roster on the film, is there maybe one guy, and if it's just a number, maybe you don't have a name or even a position, but is there a guy that stands out to you as a player that you would look forward to watching and seeing his skill set out there?
I don't know about a player, but I like to watch their punt return team. I think they've blocked a bunch of kicks this year. They're doing an outstanding job there. It's they've done so well that we're spending extra time this week on it. As far as a player is concerned, I think defensively they've been doing some good things this year, and they play team defense, and offensively, they're working through some stuff, and as far as their quarterback situation is concerned, and I think their O-line works well as a unit. So, like Ben said, I can't put my finger on one guy, but I'll tell you what, they are just one play away here and there from being a completely different team. And, that's the team that we expect to see Saturday night is the team that's one play away, and that's going to make those plays. So we're expecting a whole different Okanagan Sun team Saturday night.
The former linebacker would point out a punt return team, wouldn't you? That's
I made my living off special teams, Dom. So as much as I don't want them to block one, to see them do it to other teams is pretty awesome.
Ben, what about you, real quick? A guy on the Raiders that as a fan, you might actually like to watch play.
Well, I think that there's a number of guys, and their receiving core for sure. You look at guys like Mike West, who can win a lot of jump balls. We get them into one-on-one situations. It's dangerous. They can really stretch the field with Nelms Horton, the speed that they're playing with on the outside. And, of course, Jake getting them the ball down the field is, something that you don't sleep well in the lead up to the game about. But, then defensively, they have a lot of guys who are stepping and making plays. But the thing, as I said earlier, that worries me about the Raiders is, they constantly have guys stepping up who – you don't even know their name. They're making plays. So that's what we're most concerned about is who's it going to be next. We can put our finger on a lot of those guys, but we don't know who the next guy's going to be. So we're gonna have to be ready all around the board.
Guys, I appreciate the candor and the insight, and you can stop being nice to each other now. And actually, get into your prep and get ready for battle on the weekend. Thanks for your time and good luck.
Anytime, Dahmer. Thanks, man.
Thanks, Tom.